Awakening with Brahma Kumaris. Namaskar. Welcome to Awakening with Brahma Kumaris. We're talking about soul connections. Let's first welcome Sister Shivani. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Sister, in the last episode we were talking about strengthening our mind, taking care of ourselves, and we had done also a meditation about that. And I promised you I'll tell you a small little story about my personal experience, but that can be a little later. We had also talked about that lady who went for the cricket match and also left the country for the sake of her husband, and we've been always blaming others or telling that I am sacrificing for the other people, and still I am not able to, still they are not happy, and also that I am not able to be so happy, make others happy, so I am weak, I am incapable, so I lose my strength, my self-esteem, then I go into depression and I become that negative person again and further create more of this. And also, I want to know, how do I take care of myself?
When we talk about myself, I'm talking about that inner being, the energy which expresses itself out in every relationship, in every interaction. So that inner being, the main role of that inner being is thinking.
Thinking.
Thinking is something that we never stop.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we are asleep, we're thinking. The speed might slow down, but it never becomes zero. So we are thinking. And every thought I create is energy. And energy radiates out. And that's where the relationship got created.
Sorry to interrupt. When we are sleeping, when we think, even that thought radiates energy?
Of course.
Don't tell me.
Why?
So whatever I think, even while I'm asleep, about somebody, that is also transferring?
See, everything that I think, it's creating my aura, na? It's my package of energy, it's my vibration. So how does it matter whether I'm doing it while I'm awake or while I'm sleeping? It's still creating my energy field.
So thinking is that important, that
Thinking
strong?
is that important, but then I don't need to take so much care about what I think while I'm sleeping, because what I think while I'm sleeping is going to be obviously similar to what I think while I'm awake. Yeah. Yes. So in the night, it's basically whatever I created during the day. It's just a replay of that, actually, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
But important is that it's happening during the day also, and then it's happening during the night also, and throughout the 24 hours, it's energy, energy, energy out into the environment and out to the other person. So how important that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is the foundation of my relationships. And so we cannot live under this illusion that it's okay that I'm doing right and speaking right. Doesn't matter who's looking at my thinking. Because thinking is much, much more in numbers, in quantity, because I'm thinking the whole day. I'm not talking to you the whole day. I'm not doing action the whole day, but my thinking is the whole day and the whole night. So it's much more in number, the energy waves, and it's much more powerful than my sound energy. And so I have to now come back to the core, because we've reached that stage in relationships where just doing the patchwork from outside is not going to work.
No makeup.
Yeah, it's all just seems to collapse now. So we will have to hit it at the foundation. We have to strengthen the foundation.
And what is that?
That's my thoughts.
And how do you do that?
That's why we need to learn how we think. See, if you notice during the whole day, if we just slightly become aware of our thinking, there is a habitual pattern that has got created. You know, over a period of time, a set way of thinking has become a habit. And now I don't even consciously do it. It just seems to work in the same direction. And if there are times we feel that I don't want to think like this, and yet I'm not able to change it.
Hmm.
That means my consciousness has really become weak.
Oh, I don't want to think like this.
I don't want to think
Yet
like.
it's
Yet the
out of
thought,
control.
the thought just, it's like a player which is just playing. I want to stop it, but yet I'm not able to do it. I want to change it, and yet it seems to not happen.
But isn't that awareness by saying that I want to change it?
Yeah, so that will be the first step, but it's a sign, to see whether I have a healthy mind or I need some work to be done, because otherwise first step of awareness is, do I need to do something? So for that I would need to know. It's like, if I decide to pick up something very heavy, and then when I'm about to pick it up, I realize that
I don't have that
can't
strength.
do it. Yeah. So at least that's my first stage of awareness, that I'm physically weak. Then I decide whether I want to do something about it or whether I'm okay with it. I can live with this amount of physical strength. I think it's okay. I don't need to lift very heavy things in my lifetime. I'll be able to manage with this body. Or am I ready to go to the gym or take a good diet and build up my system? Similarly, if I start looking at my mind, am I creating too many thoughts in the day? That's first checking. There are a lot of people who just can't slow down their thinking. Just look at people while driving today. You probably see them talking to themselves.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever seen people talking to themselves?
I've seen people walking on the street and talking to themselves.
People talking in their sleep?
Yes. I've seen even children speak to them.
Yeah. So now this is because it's
The
too
speed.
fast. It's too fast.
And why is it too fast, sister?
Because I've just never stopped and slowed it down. There's so much to think, and I've never checked it, and I've never worked on the quality of it, and so it's too fast. It's like if you put your car in the 5th gear, and then you've pressed the accelerator, and then you've pressed it and you've pressed it, and then after some time you're going to say, why is the car so fast? Because my foot is on the accelerator. And if I want to slow down, gradually I have to do something. But if I'm going to go on the same way of driving without moving my foot from the accelerator, without pressing the brake, without changing the gear, car's going to go only at that speed. Same thing has happened here, and it's been going on at that speed for a long time. So one, try and ask yourself and try and check, am I thinking too much? Second, is my quality of thinking more towards the negative? And third, whenever I want to change my thought, am I able to do it like this? That is checking whether my mind is in my control.
Am I able to change my thought immediately? And am I able to understand, or am I aware enough to see what
The
my
speed
thought,
of my thinking.
speed of my thinking?
Is it too much? You'll be able to see it if you feel heavy here. You feel heavy. It's too much happening.
Lots of people think that thinking is not in their control. It just happens.
That's weak consciousness, not aware at all. It's like sitting in the car. Your foot is on the accelerator. The brake is there. But you think the car is moving on its own?
Yeah, but people think that it is only go sit and do meditation and go on and put effort not to think, not to think, not to think, or repeat a mantra. Again they think and they get so fed up.
It's
As
not.
it is, they are in trouble. And again,
It's
furthermore,
not about not to think.
what to think?
What to think. And most important, slow down the thinking
How can you slow down the thinking?
by changing the quality.
And how do you, change the
let's
quality?
say, for example, if I create one right thought just now, this is a beautiful place. Everything's so perfect here. Everything is calm.
But it's so dirty.
This thought would have been very slow. But now, if I change this to what you're saying, but this should have been here, this should have been here, this is not, they haven't taken care of this. The minute the quality changes towards negative, speed is very fast. And then there is no stopping. And then it's so fast that after some time I think, I'm not doing it. It's happening on its own.
It's out of your control
It's
too.
out of my control. So we need to check some typical patterns of our thinking and start gradually working on it, because otherwise, if we don't do that, over a period of time, our thought patterns, anyways our thought patterns shape our quality of life. shape our quality of relationship. But if we are not aware of our thought patterns, then our thought patterns dominate our consciousness, and unaware, I seem to be creating my life, my destiny, and my relationships. And then I'm saying it's happening on its own. I'm not doing anything.
So first of all, we have to understand that how important is a thought.
Yeah.
Unless and until we really, shake ourselves up, not the other person, and say, look, if you think like this, you're going to be like this, and if you be like this, you're going to
Do this.
suffer this,
Yeah.
or be happy, whatever.
Yes.
So if you keep on thinking what you've been thinking, you'll keep on getting what you've been getting.
Absolutely.
So to change something new, you've got to go down basic to your thoughts.
To your thoughts.
And to your thoughts first, the easiest is to replace it with the positive thought.
Yeah. Just let's look at.
If I meet you, for example, I'll find something good about you. Instead of saying, whatever is he, why is he wearing this, why, not being so judgmental. So we can start from ABC.
Yeah, but certain things, even now, before seeing what I'm thinking about other people, let me just see sometimes what I'm thinking just inside, even about myself.
Isn't it the same? A critical person must be criticizing himself and others.
So, but first it starts with criticizing himself. My thinking, if it has become critical, a lot of people today have critical thinking. But secondary is them criticizing other people. But primary is first they criticizing themselves, very, very critical about themselves. Now, how did this critical thinking get created? Somewhere, sometime in their childhood.
The parents,
teachers,
relatives,
relatives, siblings, they were critical. So once they were critical, this image got created here. And now I'm living with this image. And so I keep criticizing myself. Now this energy of criticism that I keep on creating for myself, it becomes my way of thinking. And if it's my way of thinking for myself, then when I come into the field of relationships, it's going to be my way of thinking with other people.
But we were discussing about not to be playing the blame game. This happened because of that. But here you yourself are telling, but this person has become self-critical because of his parents, friends, relatives, siblings.
As a child,
teachers.
Whatever information a child gets, let's say a child is slow in his work. So everyone, instead of taking him towards the right way of working, sometimes the parents will keep saying, you're very slow.
Sometimes, all the time.
All
They'll
the
add
time.
more masala and say,
Yeah.
extremely slow. Look at that
Extremely
person,
slow.
look at your friends, look at the other person, look at your age. I
Right,
don't know.
Right. You'll never be able to finish it.
Just plus that. And I curse them too.
I don't know what you'll do in future.
You're not capable of life. To live in this kind of
At
today's
this
world.
rate, you'll never be able to achieve anything.
Unsuccessful, I'm sure. I'll give you in writing.
Right.
That's all people
Now
say.
this is information coming to a child when he is in the stage of creating an image of himself. We create an image of ourselves, but because we don't know ourselves well enough, we create the image based on the information that we get from people around us,
friends,
and especially people whom we trust, parents, teachers. So we say, obviously they speak the truth. My mind tells me, obviously they tell me the truth. And so I create my image based on what my parents taught me. But what happens is that image stays with me, and then I create my thoughts out of that image. And every time I create that thought, I'm reaffirming that same image, and it just goes on and on and on. Now, let me start taking out a few moments of silence, stopping.
Few moments of silence.
Yeah,
Means
just to
go
check.
to a place
No.
where it's silent.
Just sit where you're sitting.
Okay, then.
Just sit and be with yourself. Like to build a relationship with someone, we need to be with them.
So you're talking about yourself.
Being with myself.
Building a relationship with my own
myself.
self.
So let me see what are the critical thoughts that I have about myself. I need to be aware. To change it, I will need to first be aware of it. Let's say nobody loves me. This could be one critical thought. I'm no good at what I do. I can't achieve even if I try and put in my best. Let me be aware of these thoughts first, even if it means writing it down. But I will be able to do it only when I start looking at it. And the minute I start writing it down or becoming aware of it, now changing it, very simple.
Changing it is very simple.
Changing it is very simple.
How?
I just need to be aware of what the thought is. Unless I know myself, I can't move towards changing that
No,
thought.
if I have a habit of getting angry or speaking out of turn or speaking too much or exaggerating, you think people don't know about it?
People know about
Very
it.
difficult to change?
Important first is for me to know about it.
In spite.
And to accept.
In spite.
In spite of what? Then to change
Accepting,
it.
yes.
That's okay, we'll do this. That's what this whole program is about. That's what
I'm
it's...
not making people, the viewers, weak.
No.
But I'm just informing you that I found it difficult.
But once we start doing it, we can change it. There is no habit of ours, no sanskar of ours, no thought of ours which we can't change.
No addiction.
Which
no
we can't
thought,
give up.
No sanskar. Is it possible?
Yes.
I see the oldest people around, intelligent people or the spiritual people or spiritual masters or pujaris or maybe the gurus. I still find their old sanskaras so much in them.
They're still working on themselves.
They're still working.
Yes.
So when will they change? In next janma?
It's not about when they will change.
No, you said there's no sanskaras which cannot change.
Yeah, provided I spot it out
You
for
talk
myself.
about habits.
Personality traits inside, my
Personality.
way of thinking.
Yeah, that's
my
a
way of
sanskar.
thinking, yeah. It can change. Provided I'm aware and I want to change it. But for that, I need to know someone.
Myself.
Myself. That's all. I don't need other people to tell me.
Actually, you should not only need to know someone, you should fall in love with someone. You should like someone.
Yes.
You treat it like a small child,
And
like a
that's
baby.
why we said to love someone else,
Love yourself.
you'll have to first love yourself.
Treat yourself like a baby.
For that,
a
you'll
child.
first have to know yourself. And that's why start looking at your thinking. Every time this critical thought comes to you, even if you're not free that time, you're busy somewhere, but you can see this thought of criticism, write it down and keep.
For example?
Any thought. Suppose people keep saying something to me, and then I create a thought, no one loves me. Write it down.
No, not that way. If I do not like something in X, Y, Z and I say, oh, what the hell is he
No,
doing?
right now we're not talking about the thoughts that we create for other people.
Oh, you're talking about my own self.
Yeah, because what thoughts I create for other people is only an offshoot of what I create for myself. So we are not going to the second step. We're going to talk first of the first step. See, it's so easy to see, even in our thoughts, what we think about other people. But it becomes so tough to see what I think about ourselves because we hardly ever looked at our own self.
No, but so many times, most of the time, we are criticizing ourselves also.
And that's all.
I'm
Now
so
just start looking
I'm
at
so
that.
this, I'm so that, I'm so weak.
Right.
I don't know why I keep on doing this, making this, repeating the same mistakes. I keep on helping people and get stuck in that, and
That's all. Just let's
all
take
that.
one. Let's take one. We won't take too many at one time. So we start working on this critical thinking. Look at our thoughts which are critical of ourselves. Explain to myself that the more I create this thought, I am reaffirming that part of my personality. Like how today parents are taught to not criticize your children. Say it to them the other way, which empowers them. Don't say you're too slow, you'll never be able to do it. But parents are taught today what they have to say to the child and how they have to say it. And it is, of course you can do it. Move on. Come on. I'm there with you. Chalo, we can do it. And the child will.
empower.
Now I have to first start looking after this child. So how am I going to start talking to this child?
By being a good parent.
Yes, by being a good parent. So unless I am a good parent to this child,
I won't be a good parent to
to this child.
Yeah.
So that's where I start. So once I note down my critical thought, I've understood that it's damaging. Now I gradually change it. It might not happen in the first time, but then it's all about doing it every day. Every day. The minute I see my critical thought, I take out 30 seconds, 1 minute, just to be with myself, stop it, check it, change it. It's very, very important to change our critical thinking.
Once upon a time, I used to hate myself. Never liked myself. So many times. A small situation, hate myself. Small mistake, hate myself. Somebody says something to me, okay, why did I joke with him? Why did I go do this with him? I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done this and that. All the while, I used to hate myself.
So the more you keep on saying, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done this, there's no transformation happening. Because every time you're criticizing yourself, you're actually making yourself weaker. Because we're creating negative thoughts. The same thing, if we would have just changed the quality of the conversation of, next time I'm going to do it this way. It's not that we're saying we were perfect and we don't need to change. We need to change. But I'm not going to do this. I shouldn't have done this. It's only depleting my energy. Because I'm going, and to change I need power. But with every wrong thought, I'm reducing my power. And so the next time I tend to make the same mistake all over again. And then again I make the mistake and I again criticize myself. And then I again make a mistake and then gradually my frequency of making those mistakes increases. Because every time I made it and criticized myself, I reduced my power. And actually I had to empower myself. So now we'll just change the quality of that conversation inside.
So for basic relationship, and we were talking about relationships, and so you mean to say for a relationship between husband, wife, friends, and maybe even staff or employer, employee, all that, basically you finally come back to the way you think?
Yeah, again. If I'm critical about myself, I'm low. If I'm low, I have nothing to give out. I'll only give that same anger and hatred. If I hate myself, my perfume is of hatred. So that's the fragrance to everyone. And then I say, I want love. I'll have to change my perfume tomorrow.
He won't even able to smell your perfume and he'll run away from you.
Yes.
And then he'll say, why is he running away from me?
And then again self-criticism, people don't love me.
They run away from me when they meet me.
So gradually, we have to work on ourselves, we have to change, but not by being critical. Note down that thought, change the thought to a positive self-affirmation.
Change the thought to a positive self-affirmation.
For example, like you said,
change your relationship to a positive.
With yourself. Yes, absolutely. So one is critical thinking. The other kind of thinking which we do very often is worrying thinking. Worry too much.
I used to do that.
We all do that. Worrying too much.
I can be a great example for that, yeah.
It's a complete story that's going on the whole day. It's just going on and on and on. Has he come? Suppose, let's say we have to do the shoot. Things have to be done. And there's a lot of amount of work, there's a lot of coordination, everything has to be done. But if I start, will it happen, will it not happen? They haven't finished it. I don't know whether they'll be able to do it. If we don't finish this much today, then what? This is what happens. How much ever you tell them. And if it doesn't happen, how will we finish it? And then if we don't finish it, then what will happen?
Now I'm worried.
So on and on and on.
I have a worry.
Yeah.
We have to speak so many things.
Right.
And the time is running. So before I worry, you better give us a nice meditation for the ones we've spoken on today.
Sure.
It was a lovely chat with you, sister.
Thank you so much.
I should thank you. We should thank you. All of us thank you.
Let's sit back and look at ourselves. My mind, the little baby I'm parenting. It's mine and I have the power to nurture it the way I want. There are a lot of things that have happened in the past for which I have been criticizing myself. But today, I stop and I change the way I'll talk to myself. Look at my thought and gently change it to a powerful affirmation. The past is not in my control, but I love myself and I can do this. I have the power. It doesn't matter what the world says. I have the power and I'm using it to nurture and empower myself. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Every thought I create, whether I'm awake or asleep, creates my energy field. And this is the energy I have to offer in every interaction. Check. Am I thinking too much? What is the quality of my thoughts? Whenever I want to change any particular thought, am I able to do it easily? When the quality of thoughts is right, the speed is slow. When it is negative or waste thinking, the quantity increases. The mind thinks too much and we feel that it is not in our control. Let us start building a beautiful relationship with ourselves. Check. What are the critical thoughts we have about ourselves? Gently change the quality of every critical thought to acceptance and love. The more we criticize ourselves, we are reaffirming that part of our personality. We want to change our sanskars, and so our internal conversation needs to be positive, loving, and empowering. Tomorrow, we will discuss our habits of worrying and controlling others. If you wish to discuss your problem or have a question to ask or want to know your nearest Rajyoga Meditation Center, call us on 099 99 744 555.
Shanti.